Right, so going through the last 6 sessions of our course, first of all, I'm interested in knowing how you guys think it's going, and whether you would rather do it faster or slower, more exercises, more one-on-one, because we can do that as well. So we can talk about that. And as I said, we've got 3 other things to go through for the exam, and one of it is goals. So goals in Dynamic CRM are like a target KPI thing. You can set it up for people working for the company. You can set it up by how much they're making in sales, for example, so estimated revenue, or how many calls they're taking if they're on a call center, for example, or if they do servicing, something like that. So goals is something that is of interest, and it will be in this course. A lot of companies want to go for goals. You can't customize it much, so what you see is what you get, and I'll go through them. 3 main things to know with goals is that you can have many types of goals. Not that many, actually. You can have numeric goals, which is number of calls, number of activities, number of opportunities, number of things that you've done, and amounts, which is how much you've sold, basically. Another thing about goals, they can have a parent goal. So, for example, if you're on a team, you might have a goal for your whole team, and then you can split that onto the various members of your team, and that would make it onto the main goal. And all of these roll up, so as you go ahead with your goal, as you take on more calls, as you earn more revenue, your goal decreases. You get closer to the target, and so does your team. So very, very good with regards to that. Guys, we can actually talk. I'm not very good at seeing the chat here, because while I'm presenting, I can't actually see the thing. So if either of you wants to jump in, please do so. Just unmute your microphone and go ahead.
Hi, Anna, it's Claire. Can I go first?
Sure.
Hi. I'd quite like to cover all of the topics, so that we've got a basis for all of them, and then maybe go back if we have questions about some of them. Would that be possible?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Anyone else?
I made a comment of, I like the pace that you're doing. It works well for me, and it would be nice to work through some examples together of real life situations, and maybe some tricky situations that you come across yourself.
Yeah. Cool, we can do that as well. All of these were in my plan anyway, so that's very, very good that we're thinking at the same thing, at the same things. So as I was saying, goals would be one part of the subject we still need to cover. There's another subject with regards to sales analysis. Sales analysis is basically around views, charts, and dashboards. Chris showed us a little bit of a chart and showed us that, you can drill in, and these are views, and this is how you do them. But we'll go into more detail, of course. And the last part is gamification. Now, This was something that was attempted in 2016. I'm not sure it's being very much used now, or that it's even in the exam. But because it's in the manual, we're gonna cover it anyway, just to make sure that everything's okay. So those are the areas that we still need to cover. Now,
sorry, Anna, before you carry on, the other Anna, she says she's got no audio or video, and she made a comment to say that she's really interested in setting targets for goals and creating relevant charts.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're definitely gonna do that. So this will cover off our exam. I know the main goal of this, the main goal of goals. Nice. So the main goal of this course is for us to actually take the exam and get there. And this is what we're gonna do. But I'm very keen on going through real life scenarios as well, because I feel that your knowledge will not be enough just from a technical standpoint. So in order to get an internship or you know, a job or like a graduate scheme or junior position somewhere, I think you need to know a little bit more than just sell CRM. So in this respect, I know that some of us come from a software background, so it might be quite boring for you because you already know this. But I'm still gonna go through my lesson today, which is mainly about setting up a project that will incorporate everything that we've learned so far and everything that we have yet to do in order to get this exam. So I'm quickly going to show it to you. As usual, I've got a small PowerPoint here, and I will go through, you know, the subjects and explain them, and we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to share my screen. Share. Right. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, it's up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see this slide with Learn to Earn with Dynamics 365, session 6. So what I thought about, this, you know, earlier, somewhere in November, I think. I thought about this fictitious company that would be called Helpers. Now, I thought about it because, you know, when we have holidays coming up, for example, or someone's birthday, or mainly an event of some sort, some of us just don't have time to do everything that needs to be done. You know, for example, I don't clean very much, so I need someone to come clean my house, but that's something on a normal basis. But for example, for Christmas, I didn't decorate my home until, you know, Christmas Eve, because I just didn't have time. So it would be nice if someone came in and just put up a Christmas tree, for example. Or cooking. I love cooking, but then maybe I don't get to do it, or maybe other people just don't like to do it. And then it will be nice to, you know, to have someone and cook in your home, in your kitchen, so that it smells like holiday food. It's not the same as having it delivered. And also they could buy gifts for you and for your family, right? This is just an example of a company I would create if I had, you know, money to lose on a company, basically. So I thought, let's just try and build this company that I thought about. Let's just try and see if we can really apply Dynamics CRM to, you know, to everything. And this includes quite a lot. So it includes gift buying. It includes services, which is cleaning, right? It includes cooking. You have to have a lot of prerequisites for that. It includes decorating your house. So we can take some scenarios and see if we can build them. Go through lead, opportunity, quotes, order. Set up an account, see exactly what the fields are, how they behave, what the panels are in CRM and all of that. Go and set up a contact and see what the fields are, how they behave. When we've got a lead, pay attention to its life cycle, because a lead, as you can see, you already qualified the lead, but you maybe didn't notice all of its, details, such as the life cycle. We don't know that a lead is primarily in draft, and you can edit it, and then it can be qualified or disqualified if if that person doesn't answer our phone or something like that, because we don't want to clog our database. So I feel like all of that we can learn by setting this up. Then I thought, right, so if we're going to do this, how are we going to do this? So most projects have methodology. I think this is misspelled. Yeah, there we go. So when you're working in a company and you have to deliver their product, so most likely you won't be the very technical skill there. You will not start writing plugins on top of CRM or customer flow activities or JavaScript code or any sort of other C# code or Java or whatever the company works with, right? So you won't do the actual coding, but what you will do probably is figure out, one, what do you need for this project? How to translate your requirements from business into technical requirements, into dynamics requirements, and how to deliver it. So your job would most likely be, as a functional consultant, to figure out what sort of functionality applies on top of the business requirement and how fast can we get there. So under methodology, I said agile. I said agile because agile is the most common used one. In agile projects, so there are two main types of projects out there, or at least there were. There were waterfall projects, so I'll put waterfall here as well. So waterfall. So within waterfall projects, these projects are exactly how they are called. They start from somewhere up top, and you get them slowly towards the end result. This is how a waterfall project will work, right? You have a big list of requirements, and you work through them, until your product's done. This sort of methodology was very popular in the past, especially with clients, because as a client, you wanna send a list of requirements. You wanna ask how much will it be. The company, the consultancy company, or your internal development team will give you an estimate. And that's it. Like you will know that out of your budget, this amount of money will go out. You have to do some work at the beginning, writing out specs and everything, but then you're off. So then you just wait for like 6 months to a year for someone to develop your project, and then they'll show it to you. And they thought that's great. They thought that was a brilliant idea because everything's very clear and everything will get done. But in reality, it doesn't happen like that, right? So, as you go through a project, you find out that there are many little details that no one considered, or you simply have a different idea to your stakeholders' idea, and you end up developing something completely different, or you've already talked to your stakeholder, and the stakeholder said one thing, but they never consulted the actual users team who are gonna use your product, and these waterfall projects used to fail quite a lot. This is why most projects nowadays are agile. So the idea behind agile, it wasn't quite agile. It was more like coding with agility. This is how they called it. The idea with the agile methodology was that they would remove the tunnel vision. So you won't be like a train in a tunnel, just waiting for that bright light to come up and you'll finish the project. You would have different little gaps in your mountain, in your tunnel, where you would show your functionality or what you've built to your customer. I actually have a presentation for that. Just a second, I'll find it in a sec. This presentation that I've done for the CRM user group on the 1st of March that actually goes through, it does go through some of this. So I'll show you then basically what it looks like. Just a second. Right, can you see my screen? With the new presentation?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is something, this was about how a project will be successful and everything and what we want to do. So I'm just going to go down to the, actually project building side of things. So this sort of methodologies came about from an idea that if we show our project, if we show our product all the time, then the user won't be able to say, oh, I didn't like this or I didn't want this, because they could have changed it as we went along. So this is what Agile stands for. Basically, the whole Agile process is you start off with a set of requirements still, but then going from those requirements, you actually think about it a little bit. You just don't follow it blindly. So what you have to do, what I've got here, is we need to empathize with the users we are presenting our project to. We need to define what they need and what their frustrations are. So not only what the stakeholder tells us, we need these to work for our actual end user as well, because they would possibly advocate us or use our system, or they will refuse to use it at all. So we need to define exactly what they want and what goes hand in hand with the business need as well, and translate it. We need to brainstorm for creative solutions that's between ourselves, with the users, during past experiences in life, not just in software. Then we need to prototype, which is actually what we're doing in this course. We're, going through a business process flow. We're setting up a product catalog. Now we're prototyping a whole project. So that's very useful as well, just to prototype and then share your knowledge back to the user and test everything, and it goes back in circle, right, for your next feature. So this is the way projects work, or at least good projects work. And these are best practices that we should always use, and they do fit into the agile methodology quite a lot. Normally, agile starts off with a backlog. A backlog is a list of all of the requirements that we're gonna do for that project, and then we just take on the first features on the list, so the first thing they want, that we can develop within 2 weeks or within a sprint. We call this a sprint. So within 2 weeks, it's actually 2 to 4 weeks, which we can establish with our client. We take a bunch of features or a bunch of things to develop, which we call user stories. So we take a bunch of user stories within our sprint and try and work on them. And at the end of the 2 weeks or at the end of the sprint, we show this to our customer, and they might say straight away, oh, wow, so the rest of the list is all wrong. I need to define my backlog or my list of requirements, what I want to get out of this project. So methodology is very important when working in real life with a dynamic CRM product. I won't go into loads of details with regards to methodology. I will share them on the website after this session. Please go through them. They're very important. If not for anything else, they always ask this in interviews. So when you're going to apply for a job, they're going to ask you, so what do you think? How do you think we could develop a project, for example? Where's your mindset? Something like that. So you need to have some knowledge on it. Moving away from the actual delivery methodology, the more technical side of things is with regards to how to deliver a project, is something called behavioral driven development. So, or BDD. As I mentioned before, most likely your role within a company would be to translate whatever they want into how you're going to achieve it and how does that work in Dynamics 365, right? So we say that BDD provides a ubiquitous language for analysis. So this ubiquitous language is actually something everyone understands. It's a way of talking in technical terms for describing a behavior that you are going to develop and deliver for them. But at the same time, this language works for your system as well. So this ubiquitous language works for your business and your system. If you give out the same list of functionality to the business and to the developers, it will mean the same thing for both of them. So this way of working is also very popular at the moment, right? You might heard about other acronyms as well, such as TDD, which is test-driven development. Within test-driven development, we used to write tests beforehand, and it actually meant the same thing. So with behavioral-driven development, we say that we develop something so that it meets a behavior. With test-driven development, we say that we develop something so that it passes a test. So this goes a step further towards having the same language for everyone involved in your project. So for this, I actually came up with a scenario, right? So let's just say that for our company helpers, right? Someone somehow has asked us to set up an Easter egg hunt. This is our requirement from the business, let's just say. So within our company, we have a client that wants an Easter egg hunt. And, to do this, we will have a number of scenarios. We need things to set up an Easter egg hunt. We need Easter eggs to begin with. We need a map of where the eggs have been hidden. Otherwise, we might forget where all the eggs are. We need a location. What else do we need? We need a prize. Who would hunt an Easter egg hunt without a prize? So all of these are things to be considered within our system, right? How we're gonna set up this Easter egg hunt within our Dynamics 365. So I'm just going through one scenario. So my first scenario is Easter eggs are provided, and I said we kind of need 2 per person. So just in case they find 1 Easter egg, 2 Easter eggs, at the end of it all, each person should eat a chocolate egg. So there we go. Sorry. So we need Easter eggs for an Easter egg hunt. And as I was saying before, we need this ubiquitous language. So this ubiquitous language in BDD translates into given, when, then. So all scenarios that we are thinking about can be transformed in a given, when, then. In our case, given number of Easter egg hunters is set, because we need to know, we already know that we need 2 per person. So we need to know that's our first point of view. Let's just say we need 2 eggs per person. So do we have the number of persons then? Given the number of people, given the number of Easter egg hunters is set, when the Easter egg hunt begins, ensure there are 2 eggs per hunter. I know this is a little bit difficult at the beginning, and it doesn't really make much sense. But as you go along, and as you have more and more scenarios, this kind of fits into your thinking as well. You're always thinking, they've asked me for a button, or they've asked me to set up a business process flow. What do they need a business process flow for? Wow, so they need it for sales. What sales? What sort of sales? How do they sell? Who is selling? To whom is selling? And so on. So once we drill down in the requirements, when we get to this type of format, we are closest to the truth. And then when if we can provide this to our business users, and they, this fits into their day-to-day work, and they think, yeah, this is it, this is what I want, then our project is most likely to be successful. It's very, very, very important to keep an eye on who our customer is and how we can make them happy. What can we do to fulfill their requirements for our project? So these are the methodology as well as BDD. You don't have to use BDD. This is just an example for me. because I think it's very useful. It's also very popular at the moment. All the cool kids use it, so you might as well give it a try or suggest it once you're in a workplace. These are all theoretical aspects, if you will, things we need to keep in mind and ways of working. Then moving forward, we've got our company, we know what we need to do, we've got a few scenarios, so then we can start working, but we won't just go into CRM and start putting in figures and numbers and all of that. We're going to start with an entity relationship diagram. So if you remember in our first session, I said that when we actually, I might have our first session. So we said that when we start working with a dynamic CRM, it's very important to know where the data is stored, how is it stored, why, how is it talking to other data in the system, and all of that. Let's just see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. And we said that within our sales module, these are the entities that we have to use, and this is an entity relationship diagram. We call it an entity relationship diagram because it's got entities, it's got relationships, and it's a diagram. So we need all these in order to fulfill our spec. So if we go here, we need to build an entity relationship diagram because it gives a feel of the entities we are going to use and the relationships between them. It also provides a better understanding of the data flow. For example, we would know that for our egg hunt scenario or user story, we know that we would definitely need a product that would be the Easter egg. The Easter egg will probably have a unit of 1. But then the unit group that we can actually sell the product to, it will be of 2 Easter eggs because we know we need 2 per person. We would also know that we are definitely organizing this for someone, so it might be a company most likely, or even just a person. Maybe they want to throw a party themselves. So there we go. We know we need the product catalog. We know we need the accounts and contacts. We definitely know we need the leads and opportunities. So this all started with someone probably saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool to have an Easter egg party?" And that turned into an opportunity, which is our Easter egg now, right? We've got an action. We know when this is going to happen. We know when we have to set everything up is probably right before Easter. So all of that will feed into our business process flow on the opportunity with the exact time frame. And we know what we need to do. We probably need to, place the eggs and then have a map to give to everyone. So all of these will flow into our entity relationship diagram. This is how we know how all of the data that we need in our system will flow and talk to each other. How will it work together? And because we were talking about time frames and stuff like that, this is very helpful for reporting purposes. And charts, dashboards, views, these are all a subject in our exam as well. So that's very helpful to do. Yes, so I think this was my introduction within a business case. So I'd like to know what you guys think from you know, about doing this, about this idea.
Yeah, I can see where we're going with it. I can see how we need to set everything up and the entities to start with. Definitely. Yeah. I'd like to do it Easter egg hunt and get 2 eggs at the end.
It was a silly idea. We can use, of course, anything else.
It's a good idea.
Right. Yeah. So this will all sit in our sales module, so we won't go any further than that, right? So only what we need for our exam, but hopefully it will provide context, I think, and it would give you ammunition going forward as well, because you will need to motivate your skills. And as I said, not just technical skills, blending in with a team is also very important. You're probably gonna have to communicate quite a lot. You're probably gonna have to, convince people of stuff. You're probably gonna have to explain why you think something is taking a long time, or you might have to do some testing or write documentation, and all of that regarding methodology and everything else is very, very useful, I thought. So yeah, I'm very keen to show you that. So we can start now. I'm just gonna give you this, right? And all of the theory around it for you to have a play with in your own time. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and show you some goals, okay? Just so that we cover off our next chapter. Right, so let me log into my instance. Oh, another thing I wanted to tell you, actually. On Sunday, I am available from 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. During that time, anyone who wants extra information, wants to have a play with CRM, wants to show me their instance, or I don't know, do anything, has any questions, I'm available for for sessions like that between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So have a think if you'd like to do that. I just wanted to put it out there. LD1. Okay. Yoo-hoo, so I managed to log into my account, and I am going to share my screen again and show you where to find goals and what they look like, how we can set them up. Share. Right, so this is my CRM instance. as I said about goals, they refer to people who are working for the organizations. So who's working for an organization we're developing something for? Users, right? So these people will be users in our system.
Anna, I don't think you have the right screen on screen share.
Really, what do you see?
Your browser with scenarios, customer withdrawal cache.
Oh, okay. I was using that as I was actually using that as thing, just to help me with oh yeah, well, that's fine. I'll just do this again. Share screen 2. How about now?
That's better.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks like an
Thank
instance.
you. Thank you very much. So you've just seen my cheat sheet. As you know, before these meetings, I do research quite a lot just to make sure that we go through the newest things and it's all accurate. So yeah, don't lose faith in me. Right. So we can find goals in settings. We go to settings and we've got business management. And goal metrics. Ooh, we can do something really cool here. Let's see. Yeah. So remember when I told you about the help and training module within Dynamics? So you've got this little thing here. If you click on here, it can it brings up a little search box with help and training. So if you click here and say goals, we find loads of things like videos and documents and how to use it, and I can go into more details, and let's just say I know a little bit about goals, and I just say goal metrics. Oh, did I search? So creating design forms, goal management. I know it's all for 2011, but nothing has changed that much within goals. So goals are something that haven't been changed that much. So that was just something to show you. This is very useful when we can't find something, right? Or when we wanna do something. Let's just say if this works. Create goal. Woohoo! So we've got create goal and how to create and edit and set up a goal and all of that. So this module normally isn't being customized very much. Users set up their own goals, or for their team's goal. This is something very common to import as well, very similar to product catalog, because it's quite difficult to set it up. So then once you've got a structure, you will just import everything from Excel. But still, it's pretty cool, right? It gives you the step-by-step thing just from here. Right, so going back, business management and goal metrics. We need goal metrics because as I said before, actually setting up a goal, we need to know what do we want to count. So I've got number of product units, revenue, number of cases. And I'm going to create a new one, another one, but I'm going to go into the existing one as well. Right, so within here, you've got a name. You have to give it a name, of course. You can do count or amount. So if you go to amount, it will count money. If you go to count, you can actually count different areas of CRM. In order to select that, we will have to save this record. It's very similar to everything else in Dynamics. So let's just start it. Let's just count something, right? Let's just count number of leads. Because we've got salespeople and we are in number of opportunities. Because leads, everyone can add the lead, but an opportunity, not everyone can, convert a lead to an opportunity all the time. So number of opportunities. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. As you can see, this isn't, it's got the old save button and everything. As I said, it wasn't changed very much during the time since it's been created. So we are counting now number of opportunities. Therefore, we need to define what's the actual target in progress and all of that. So we need to add roll-up fields because we wanna count this, right? So we wanna create a roll-up field to our metric. I'm just gonna leave this here. I should have number of opportunities because I don't have it. So we need to create a roll-up field first. I wanted to create it from here and to connect it straight away, but I can't. So I'll just have to go and create a new roll-up field and then connect it. So I'll just go back to business management. Let's just go. I'm getting loads of emails. I don't know if you guys can hear my. Oh. I wanted to. Okay, cool. I wanted to show you how to use this thing. But let's just follow this. A roll-up query. Sorry, that's why I couldn't find it. Right. So in order to do this, you have to be the manager, vice president, you have to be a system admin or system customizer. The way you check this is in your user, under your settings and users. This is how you check if you've got if you've got the correct user permissions. If you don't, you have to set it up. So you have to go to roll-up queries. You've got a how do I go there here. I was hoping for a more step-by-step thing because, I always share these things and I was hoping that it would be a lot more useful for you, but it's not. Right. So you can set up the in progress and you can set up the in progress and finished, and you can set up the opportunities as in progress and actual. So actual means won opportunities. Why you would do this? Because you kind of want to see for how long does an opportunity stay in progress. So this is all set up here. So in order to add one, we've got a roll up here, a roll up field here. We need to establish what we're actually counting. In our case, we're counting opportunities. We need to see what actually are we counting on the opportunity. So let's just count the exchange rate just for the discount just for this exercise. Opportunity, and the date field is let's just say created on, because we're interested when this is created. So, and we need the opportunity to be open. So we can save and close. You can see here I've went on one that was already created with number of product units. It is counting amount. If we go to count, we can't because we already have these roll-up fields. But if we went to count, then it will actually count how many records we've got. This is a more complex one. So what these roll-up fields actually count are the values on our opportunities. Some of them just look at the opportunity line, and some of them look at the opportunity. How these get working, you can assign them to a person. So if we go here, settings, security, and users. This is just me, but it's fine. I don't have any more users, any other users. So I am an admin, hopefully. I should be an admin. And within here, I will be able to add goals. User form. Oh, so another interesting thing, you could see that I was able to change the user form. As a business user, I just wanted to see it this way. I'm out of time. Okay, so because I'm out of time, I'm just gonna stop this. I'm not gonna send anything. I'm gonna stop the screen share. Right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna send you exact step-by-step directions on how to create goals metric, roll-up fields, and how they actually get assigned to users. I need to add more users in order to be able to demonstrate that, because at the moment it's just me. So it's pretty weird to do at the moment. I'm probably gonna record hopefully a 5 minutes video with how we do that, and I'm gonna send it to you because I thought that the products one was quite useful, just for you to be able to do it step by step and possibly pause it. I am a bit disappointed about the Microsoft documentation. I thought they were really good, and they were with other subjects, but not with this one because it's not as widely used as some of the other things. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna give you further materials for methodologies, behavioral driven development, and how we should create our entity relationship diagram. And we'll take it from there.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Anna.
Cool. Thank
Thanks.
you, guys.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Anna. Bye.
Oh, just let me know, whoever wants to do some work on Sunday, just please let me know.
Okay. Thank you.
It's okay.
Thanks.